Today I'm answering the question that absolutely nobody has been asking. Where would each member of the Fellowship of the Ring end up at Hogwarts? Before we dive right in, let's establish our method. Gryffindor values courage and chivalry. Hufflepuff prizes loyalty and hard work. Ravenclaw celebrates intelligence and wit. Slytherin rewards cunning and ambition. And obviously we've got 9 members of the Fellowship to sort. We've got Gandalf the Grey, Aragorn, Boromir, Legolas, Gimli, Frodo, Sam, Merry, Pippin. Now the question we're about to answer here is the Fellowship made up of heroes that are all very similar, or do they all vary drastically in terms of personality and character traits? Okay, let's start with the easy ones. Aragorn is practically the poster boy for Gryffindor. Gryffindor House values the pluckiest and most daring students. And Aragorn spends most of his time throughout the story being reluctantly brave and doing the right thing even when it terrifies him. He's got that classic Gryffindor trait of diving headfirst into danger for his friend, charging the Black Gate, taking the path to the dead, fighting the impossible odds at Helm's Deep. Plus he's got that whole hidden royal heritage thing that screams main character energy. Now this is one where some fools might disagree. Boromir, the complicated Gryffindor. Boromir might seem like Slytherin material because of the whole trying to take the ring from Frodo thing, but hear me out. Boromir's weakness to the ring played on his desires. But what were those desires? To protect his people and save Gondor. His corruption comes from wanting to be a better protector, not from personal power lust. His last act was giving his life to save and protect 2 hobbits he'd only known for a couple of months. That is classic Gryffindor behaviour. Reckless, self-sacrificing, and driven by the desire to do the right thing. The ring exploited his Gryffindor traits, not his Slytherin ones. Okay, Merry and Pippin, don't hate me for bundling these two together. It's not because they're not great individual characters, it's just because I want to make the comparison of Fred and George Weasley. And they both have similar traits for me to sort them into which house I think they would be in. Are they brave? Absolutely. Are they strategic thinkers? Not so much. Likely to charge into battle against a creature 10 times their size? You bet. They've got that Gryffindor combination of courage, poor impulse control, they sneak into restricted areas, they challenge authority figures, and somehow always end up in the middle of the action despite being the least qualified people there. If there's ever been a more perfect Hufflepuff than Samwise Gamgee, I have not met them. Hufflepuff values hard work, patience, loyalty, friendship, and Sam is described multiple times as being fiercely loyal to his friend and employer, Frodo Baggins. Sam doesn't seek adventure or glory, he just wants to help his friend and then get back to his garden. He's the backbone of the entire adventure, but if you called him a hero, he'd probably be embarrassed, and that is Hufflepuff energy right there. Gimli might seem like a typical Gryffindor because of his bravery and his fighting prowess, but look at his core motivation. He's not driven by personal glory or even his courage. He's driven by his loyalty to his friends and his people. His character arc is all about learning to trust and become loyal to new people outside of his clan. The main example being his friendship with Legolas. And that's a classic Hufflepuff, growth and expanding your friendship and loyalty circle through patience and hard work. Plus, he's an incredible craftsman and Hufflepuff appreciates good, honest, hard work and labour. And there's nothing more honest than dwarven metalwork. Ravenclaw values intelligence and cleverness, and Gandalf is literally a scholar wizard who solves his problems through research and knowledge rather than brute force. Think about how he worked out the ring's true nature. Months of studying books and scrolls in libraries and archives. His approach to every problem is, let me stop and think about this rather than, let's hit it with my axe. Even his magic is more about knowledge and wisdom than raw power. He's got that Ravenclaw trait of wanting to understand things before acting, sometimes to a fault. Okay, here's where we get a bit controversial, and I know a few of you are going to have a few stern words to say about this, but I'd just like to say, it's not that deep. Legolas might look like a classic Gryffindor because he's brave and he fights well, but let's look closer at his motivations and methods. Slytherin values cunning and ambition, right? And Legolas has continually showed strategic thinking over reckless bravery. He's calculating in combat, politically aware, and ambitious about proving himself worthy of his father's legacy. Unlike Gryffindors who charge in, Legolas picks his shots strategically. He's the one thinking 3 moves ahead. He uses his environment to his advantage in battle, and he's been making alliances strategically that will help his people's long-term interests. Even his friendship with Gimli starts as a political calculation, bridging the gap between elves and dwarves. That's Slytherin networking at its finest. Okay, the last one, and one that might upset a few people, but hear me out. Frodo is a reluctant Slytherin. He isn't driven by courage, loyalty, or wisdom. He's driven by necessity and self-preservation, which he channels into saving the world. Frodo succeeds not through his Gryffindor bravery, but through his Slytherin cunning. He lies, he manipulates, and he makes morally complex choices. He uses Gollum's obsession to achieve his goals, knowing that it will probably destroy Gollum in the process. So what's the final tally? We've got 4 members of Gryffindor: Aragorn, Boromir, Merry, Pippin. We got 2 Hufflepuffs in Sam and Gimli, 1 Ravenclaw in Gandalf, and 2 sneaky Slytherins in Legolas and Frodo. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please subscribe. I'm going to put more videos out. If you disagree with stuff, let me know. I'd happily have a discussion. I think I've done a good job. I think they're quite accurate, and I think my reasons stand. But I'm happy to be swayed. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.